Libra, I think it's so easy to take things in such a negative direction all the time. I think it's really easy for people to get in their head and twist energy and twist your balance. I think they catch you off guard. I think they make you feel insignificant and small. That, or they make you feel too tall, like you're supposed to live up to something, like you're supposed to be someone you're not, like you are supposed to be this perfect human being with perfect qualities, perfect teeth, and just like bent to perfection. That's what I feel like. I think you guys don't get enough appreciation for how much work you put in to be people's perfect person. But I also want to rip that idea down. I want to rip off that fucking mask that y'all been carrying around. It's heavy as shit. The lack of understanding, I think, on people that you deal with, the lack of like really fleshing out a conversation and communication with y'all has really hit home with you recently, right? So Libra appreciation. I love y'all. So what I wrote down was, why did this person choose to trust or love you? And I feel like this can be taken many ways, but the main one here would be, why does this person feel so comfortable with you? Why do you trigger people to gather themselves? What about you, in your qualities makes this person feel nurtured and loved, or makes people in general feel nurtured and loved? And in these beautiful depictions on these cards, what I imagine in my mind was maternal or paternal energy. There's a quality about you that reads a realist. Okay, realism. But I think your realism is always drenched in your own self-doubt, right? Like you're always looking at yourself sideways. You can never like really truly believe what you're saying or believe what you're feeling. It's always like you got a second guess. But I don't know if that comes off to people as like a red flag or a warning sign. I think people just take your words and they take them seriously. To be always taken seriously, though, also can be very, very hard. It can be very, very heavy. But I think the more that you become involved in helping people discover themselves, especially in the romantic zone, I know that's like really, really hard for y'all too, is balancing your work and what you want to dedicate your life to, and a romantic relationship with somebody else. And if you are in a romantic relationship and you have been kind of doubting yourself, doubting this person, and doubting your happiness with no real evidence on why or what could be happening on the other end, I think intuition right now is being disrupted by the feelings of self-hatred. I think your intuition is firing off, or misfiring, you want to say, miscalculating things in your own happiness because of how you feel about yourself at times. I think there's a corruption. I think it's been here for a long time. This mind, like if you look at this right here, right? This person, they have a whole opportunity right over here. This is freedom. This is freedom right here. But then why are they going back underground? Like, why are you choosing to devolve yourself, to dilute yourself and walk a totally different fucking direction? Do something that you never even wanted to do in the first place. It's like, this was never you. This was never who you were or what you were. This was never supposed to be what you were. And yet, you walk down, you keep walking further and further. Like I heard down the stairs of hell type shit, down the stairs of hell. You know how they say there's stairs up to motherfucking heaven. I believe we all drop, bitch. We all drop, but to the same place. It's not heaven, it's not hell. It's a place of no emotion. It's just a human condition. It's human energy, human situation. Like We are humans here, but outside of ourselves, what are we? Who are we? We don't fucking know. I think that gets in your mind a lot too. You're like, what the fuck happens to me once I build this whole legacy, and say something happens to me or happen to those around me that I care about? Like, what the fuck would happen to all that I have built? It wouldn't go anywhere. Shockingly, like, legacies in history, even though it gets covered up by more and more and more history, it's always there. Okay, it always happened. Okay, I think it's just hard for you to go through radical acceptance, like just be like, oh yeah, you know, everything is just as we see it, what it is and what it was. And even though you're a realist, you'll be like, well, I mean, like, what you mean? No, because not everyone feels the same condition. Not everyone has the same beliefs. Not everyone feels solid enough for God, or solid enough for Buddha or whatever. Like, not everyone is just okay with believing in one thing and believing that this life is right for them. You know, that this destiny, this fate is right for them. Like, what the fuck? Like, not everyone believes that. Not everyone carries that with them. You gotta realize that makes your life, that takes a lot of human qualities out of your life. You know, especially responsibility, because you end up replacing that feeling of, like, you know, human morality and seeing people's actions as red flags. You replace those, like, key observational skills with something that you thought or you think is above all. And that's how you end up making tons and tons of mistakes. That's how you end up dealing with tons and tons of abusive or aggressive people. That's how you end up falling under the fucking spell of somebody who they don't believe in the same thing. They don't have strong spiritual gifts or skills. They walk forwards and don't see where they're going. They have no sense of self at all. Hence why they can criticize you and pick at you and pick on you and hate on you and assume that you are strong enough for that. Okay. They assume you're strong enough for that. They want to break you down, even though you might already be down. It's like there's obviously like a distance between y'all in intelligence and in skill and in emotional quality, right? So let me get back to, like, the main drain here. Why did this person, or why did the situation choose you? Why did spirit choose you? Why did love choose you? Why was someone in their right mind choose Libra to be who they wanted? Your cause, like, you gotta understand that you trigger and cause a lot of discourse, right? Like, you know that. You know that you cause a lot of people to see themselves in the mirror. It's like a slap in the face. And you don't even have to be a inherently evil or petty person in order to do that. You don't. Like, it's just a part of who you are at the core. You can say something simple and someone will take that shit and run with it, right? You know, it's like, in a way, you want to watch what you say, because most people, they'll take a look at you and how, I guess, serious or put together you are, and they take it and run with it, okay? They want to believe you. You understand that? They have to believe you. There's just something about you, you know, your skills, like, you don't believe that you do have this skill to convince anyone of anything and everything, but you do. And we know there's a lot of evil people who would love to get their hands on that type of opportunity, right? But at the end of the day, most people that you run into aren't trying to be evil, aren't trying to be petty, aren't trying to carry that. All they want to do is live, right? All they want to do is survive. Most people see you as an opportunity, but not an opportunity that they're going to take advantage of. It's just someone who could lead them in the right direction, someone who could believe them, someone who could love them, someone who can disrupt this, like, fucking constant disadvantage that they have surrounding themselves and coating themselves in people that want to see failure all around the fucking board. even for themselves. They're like, if I can't have a good life, then nobody can. If I can't, you know, smile and be happy and have money, if I can't have none of these things, then nobody can. These birds is going crazy as I'm talking all this. They be listening. They already know what's up. So you have these like inherent qualities of somebody who embodies a guide, I guess, a guide. You are a guide to many. You are a guide to many. Libras have a childishness about them too that I think a lot of people don't really recognize. It's nothing petty. I'm not saying nothing petty or anything. It's just like the aggression that y'all put forward, passive aggression, it comes from a place of like childish behavior. No, it's like it's serenity. Okay, seeking out serenity, seeking out something that's so simple and so like sweet that almost like when people hear these things come out of your mouth, there's like a sense of like shock, like, oh, like this is what I was missing. I was missing that type of feeling, of that type of weigh in, like a third party weigh in type shit. Like I was missing that type of bird's eye view. I never had a childhood type shit. This is what people are saying around. I never had a child, and yet this person embodies someone who is so well versed in talking about their emotions, feelings, qualities in childhood, in childish behavior, and they can see through people's maneuver, like shadows and maneuvers. They can see through people's diversions. They know, they understand. Instantly, they understand. So you gotta see these qualities. It's pretty crazy, right? This doesn't make you are not no guy. You know, I want to make this clear, okay? You are not no guide. You are not no. I'm not trying to call you a shrink, a guide, a prophet, a fucking angel, and even to calling you a guide, like that in itself can be hard to hear or heavy on your shoulders. It's not that you're special. It's that because you're not special, because you are so simple, because you love simplicity, you love observation, because of these things, you have a different taste, a different greatness that a lot of people miss. And a lot of people, they can't see something simple. They have to overcomplicate everything in their fucking mind. And this is what y'all do towards yourself, but you guys give such simple advice. So they take that as like, oh, so this person is just walking through like waltzing through. Like they're able to fucking do anything and everything. And they just waltzing through life. Like they're great. Like they have some fucking crazy ass qualities. They are very strong compared to many people that I've seen. In Libra, maybe you're not, maybe you just don't view yourself as that, but you got to understand that the simple things are the simple things that people are missing. That's what you remind people of. The simple things that people can't observe and see like you can. That's what they see. That's what they embrace about you. And so when you're dealing with people romantically, when you're being approached romantically and you take things in a certain direction where it's like you feel like they're laughing in your face, or, you know, they have a hard time understanding and pinpointing what your real purpose is within their life. You know, y'all don't need to run with that, okay? You just got to understand this is the first time hearing such a simple understanding of something in their mind that can be so crazy, far-fetched, and complicated, because they don't have the feelings and emotions and the serenity. We talked about the childishness to understand it. They can't put themselves in other people's shoes like a Libra can. They just can't, okay? They just can't. So there's a lot of like around you when it comes to children, when it comes to the people that you're romantically involved with, the people that you have children with. They're doing something called reflection, where they're reflecting on all of the things, all of the gross shit that was done to them, all of the heartache and heartbreak that they experienced at a very young age. They're tackling these things as you're speaking, as you're talking to them. And so when they start bringing up the childhood, bringing up this and bringing up that, I'm not saying that you need to enable them. And I'm not saying if the situation is draining that you should just stick around and stay there. But if this person is projecting onto you and obviously making you uncomfortable and has no care for your emotions or feelings, I want you to be able to like communicate that for the first time. Communicate that for the first time. Because I think a lot of the time you just drone through. You just walk, like, look, you just fucking drone through. Okay? You literally like you could do nothing in the past when people would do this to you, when you was a child, when you was a teenager, when you was a young adult, and like really seriously not really understanding like what you mean to people, like what your ears and what your listening does for people. You know, to them, it's like a temporary healing solution. Do they hear what you're saying? Or do they, you know, it goes in one ear and out the other type shit, you know? So you got to keep in mind, like, it's so complicated. In your, like I said, you yourself are complicated, but you view everyone else as simple creatures and simple beings. And it's not because you think that you're above them. It's because you know, like, what's going through your mind, the analysis, the observations that you make about yourself are so particular and based in trauma and based in negation versus neutrality and unbiased opinion, which you have towards everyone else. You know that you're really, really hard on yourself, right? And like I said, you are no longer a child who has to sit there and listen to everyone's fucking plights and discourse and fucking sadness and stress, and you know their husband is cheating on them, and their fucking, you know, their daughter is backstabbing them, and this and this and that. You are not fucking Steve Wilkos, Maury Show. You're not doing this shit for entertainment. Like, at the end of the day, if something is draining to you, then make that known and communicate that, because you are no longer just a child who has to sit there and listen and internalize. Okay, you are no longer just some motherfucking baby. You are literally a grown-ass person now who can say no. And it's not going to make anyone... Now, will people be frustrated? Absolutely. But it's not going to make nobody hate you. Because at the end of the day, you're still a human being. You're still a person. Okay? You're still a human being. You're still a person with limits. And you have to check people and remind them of that sometimes. Okay. I see something to do with publicity, hiding yourself behind a mask, or hiding yourself behind some sort of a persona. Okay, publicity. You know, maybe people are publicly exposing you for being this very tough and kind, loving person. Maybe people are trying to publicly expose that you're, you know, better than someone else, or they're trying to like pronounce that in their life that you're the best person they ever met. In their life, you're a god. In their life, you're the best woman or best man that they ever met. The most, you know, oh my god, like obsessing, right? It's obsessive behavior. It's like fanfare behavior, right? They're trying to let you know that like they've never met anyone like you, who thinks like you, who talks like you, who can calm them down like you. This is the first time that imagine the first time that you ever met Santa Claus type shit. It's like that. The first time you ever met Santa Claus, you were either scared. You know, first you was scared, and then he had the presents in his hands, and then he was happy, and then you know, sat on that nigga's leg and said, bitch, I want this, this, and this, and this, and that. And then also, sometimes you came out disappointed. Sometimes Santa couldn't give you what you wanted. You came out really fucking disappointed in that. And other times Santa gave you exactly what you wanted. You know, it's like there are expectations. Okay? Expectations built on lies to try to hide people's, I think, shock, fear, excitement. Like, there's just a lot of expectation. That scares you. And, you know, trying to reach a moment of closure, I think, with these people who held very crazy expectations. And I like to say held, because I do think y'all just went through a really extreme purging of people in your life. Like a purging of individuals that they felt like you was counterfeit. Okay? They felt like you was counterfeit. because I think you had the balls to say, I don't want what you're trying to give me. I think because you had the balls to say they weren't enough, as a lot of it, you said they wasn't enough, or they wasn't enough for you. And I think that they was trying to do the best that they could, but the reality is, like, the best that they could do was still bordering like neglect, still bordering abuse. It's like you wasn't really asking for much at the end of the day in your head, in your mind, but to them you was asking for the world. Okay, you was asking for them to change, and that change can be very, very detrimental to this person's like whole entire being, ego, everything about them, right? They show like the glitz and the glamour, you know, they got the chains on, the rings on, the motherfucker, you know, be making the dough, making the money, showing that shit on social media, be wearing a nice shit. But then when you put them in a corner, and like I said, you mentioned change, or you mentioned their ego, you mentioned them like maybe taking down the walls and like expressing themselves a little bit more, being more forward and honest, and they get turned off, they get mad, they get turned off, they get angry that you basically told them, hey, like, what you're doing right now, it's not enough for me, because I want to be treated how I treat you, with love, with, you know, endless bliss type shit. You know, I wanna be able to have bad and good moments with you. I want to be able to make love to you without feeling like or thinking like you taking that shit for yourself. You know, I want to be able to put trust and responsibility on your shoulders, and for you to be able to carry that, just as you have done that for me. Like, just as you have placed all of this shit on me, I want to be able to place a little bit on you. Okay, I can't carry you on my back like that, you know, like whatever. Like, we ain't out here to play like fools. Okay, we ain't out here to be blind to people's behavior and to be blind to people's trauma, like trauma dumping. You know, it's like, okay, so, you know, you've had all of these things happen to you. You've been dealt really horrible cards, but like, what do you make of them? How are you changing these things? What has brought you here to this experience where, you know, you still dealing dope, you still drinking, you still have crazy sex addiction, you still treating women like shit, you still doing this, treating women and men like shit, okay? Because this is for all Libra cohesively. Now, I am reading particularly a feminine energy, but Libra is that in general. Libra is feminine, okay? Libra is feminine. Y'all, you know, I can't... I will not put y'all on this pedestal that other people are trying to create. I will not try to put y'all on this huge fucking gate. Like, that to me, like, we gotta stop keeping Libra and telling Libra that they fucking, you know, everything but really truly who they are. Okay, you carry serenity. You carry perfectionism. You carry observation, wholesome traits. You carry impulsivity. You carry a lot of darkness inside of you, because it's the darkness of humanity. Because you, not only do you observe all of the positivity that you could do and things that you would love to experience, and, you know, you never fall out of love. That's the thing. You never fall out of love. It's not even with that's just like a person, right? It's like with humanity, you never fall out of love. Just like you never fall out of the hate with them. It's split right down the middle, because y'all, there is no gray area for a Libra. It's love and hate. It's justice and peace, or it's injustice, okay, and judgment. So, I mean, the complicated thing that y'all run into right now romantically is that everyone is weighing in on you. Everyone is cashing in on you. But what are you cashing in on? What are you getting out of these situations? Okay. Yeah, exactly. What are you getting out of these fucking situations? Right? Like, this is I heard ideation, and the instant thing that I thought of was I don't know how to say this. Self okay. Suicidal ideation. Okay. We're 25 minutes in. I'll talk about it. Suicidal ideation. Okay? Suicidal ideation. Or homicidal ideation. And the wind just started picking up as I said that. Because, like I said, it's a very heavy topic. And I know how YouTube be sometimes. But we ain't even about that. We ain't trying to get too deep into that. But I think a lot of these people that come towards you have suicidal ideation or homicidal ideation. Okay? They want to kill the people that wrong them, or they want to kill themselves for wronging others. And I think you try to show them that, like, justice, that experience. You try to give them that justice. You try to make them forgive themselves, make them forgive their mom, their dad, their fucking sibling, forgive this person, that person. You try to force that onto people, or like in general, I think that that's just your ideology. It's like you present that, you bring that to the table, and people start feeling confused, okay? Dazed almost. Like, so, you know, if I forget these people, everything's gonna be good. Like, I'm just gonna forget all the trauma. I'm gonna just be able to be on my way and, you know, start loving and start fucking and start getting my money up and this and this. So you're saying that, like, I'm gonna be healed completely when I forgive and forget and do this and do that? Because you say it so simply, because you say it so matter-of-factly, people are only going by what you're saying, like what they understand in this life. And all they understand truthfully, all these people that are coming towards you romantically, is pain. That's it. It's pain. So to say just let it go, just walk away, just be yourself, they don't know who the fuck you're talking to or what the fuck you're talking about. They don't know their ass from a motherfucking hole in the ground. Okay? And they think they know you. That's the best part. Is they don't know nothing about themselves, but they think they know you. They don't know qualities, right, about themselves, but they think they know you. Crazy, right? Okay, but like I said, suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation. They want to kill the people that have wronged them. They get so angry and so fucking crazy over the people that have wronged them in relationships. And that's how you end up on the back end. They are still thinking about their exes. They're still thinking about the mama who left them on the fucking doorstep. They still thinking about the daddy who, you know, went out for a pack of fucking cigarettes or whatever and just completely just done up and lit. That's what they still thinking about. That's what they still thinking about. Right? So when they get with you, when they start feeling things for you, it's almost like you can never do anything right. You can never do anything right. You are never right. And somehow you end up in the position of being the one that's lower because they place you lower on the fucking food chain, because they can't put anybody over the people that they hate. They can't remove hatred from their minds. You understand me? They hate so deeply and so much that they will take hate over their love for you, over progress, over, you know, different choices made, over buying a house and buying a car and having a kid and treating their kid with respect and getting their money up and getting their life together. They would rather choose their hatred of self or hatred of another. So while they might love you, they might sometimes show that they love you. They might sometimes give you what you want. They hate themselves and they hate the people that did them wrong more than they love you. And there's no debate, like I said, that they might love you. But they hate themselves and hate others so deeply. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. But this is that moment of closure I think that y'all been searching for. The words that y'all been searching for. Because you just haven't been able to put your finger on it. You haven't been able to put your finger on why, like I said, you always ended up in a bottom position, submissive position, or like the person that somehow has done everything wrong, and or the person who gets broken up with out of the fucking blue, the person that, like I said, instantly gets walked away from for absolutely no reason. Like, there's no reasoning, right? There's no reason that you like consciously can put behind it from your own perspective, because you have tried to release everything that was done unto you. While you have felt the same as these people's before in life, currently right now you cannot say that you have carried this into adulthood. Okay, you have. It's not that you've gotten over it, it's that you surpassed it. You become stronger than it, and that's why you don't need any of this shit. Okay, you don't need hatred over anybody else. That's why you can still love people. That's why you still feel love. Okay, but you allow these people to make you doubt yourself, and that you're doing enough, and that you are enough. It's just interesting. Okay, so what else do they want to say? Real quick. What else do they want to say? Okay. Okay, so they're saying, look at the person that was presented to you. Look at how they presented themselves to you. Look at how they I feel like gas themselves up or put themselves on a pedestal. Okay, how they came towards you, how these people treated you. Look at them, right? Look at them for real, at who they are. They place themselves higher than they actually are in life, right? They told themselves almost that, like, I can become a better person than these people that I hate, have a fetish for hating. I can become a better person, or a better partner, a better lover, a better husband, a better wife. I can become better than all of these people. That was their decision. Instead of saying, these people do not matter to me, I need to release them because they are not impertinent to my growth. They chose to stand on top of these people. Okay, they chose to rise themselves onto a self-proclaimed pedestal and say, I can be better than you, when that is a toxic ideation. Okay, that is why that hatred gets so deep, is because you start putting your responsibilities, like things that you failed at, the things that you deeply fucked up, like you start putting that fucking hatred for yourself, or the corrections that you're supposed to make, the responsibilities that are supposed to be on your shoulders, you start putting them onto the people that you hate. It's like, well, okay, I'm gonna give y'all a situational, right? It's like this, right? Okay, so say you were abused, and many of us are, and you start kind of moving on and taking off in life, and you're still around this person that has abused you. You're like, okay, I think I could get through it. I think I can push through it. My relationship with them, it is what it is, and whatever. Like, I'm still gonna be around them. I'm still gonna live with them. I've seen a lot of people that still live with their parents, the people that have hurt them the most, the people who have triggered and traumatized them the most. They've made this mistake of entrusting them with their adult life, because they feel like that this person can somehow add up to or own up to all of the things that they've done, even though in the parent's mind there is no change in this person. They still view that person as a child, right, that they can control, manipulate, fuck with, or put down. They feel like they can still control that person's life because they live with them, right? And so there's no change in the dynamic. So, like I said, the child who became the adult continues to hate the parent. The hate continues to grow like a motherfucking wildfire. And say they do get something good in their life, right? Good partner, good, decent job. Maybe they got a kid with a person that they love. But then they start fantasizing about a different life, okay, with somebody else. They start fantasizing about having a kid with somebody else. They start fantasizing about not working, okay, not having a job, that their job is their misery. They start imagining that everything and everyone around them that has made them happy also correlates to their misery, because they still haven't left their misery with their parents. They still haven't left the people that neglected them or abused them. And then sooner or later, like I said, everything around them becomes the exact thing that they hated in their mind. Okay? Everything around them becomes the exact thing that they hated in their mind. And reality tells us that they actually became the exact person or situation that they hated, because they weren't able to move on. They kept having hope in situations where hope should have been crushed a long ass time ago. It's like your hope should be for yourself, okay? And then the story moves on. And not only do they still believe that their parents are at fault for all of the mistakes that they've made, they also believe that all of the mistakes that they made can be cured with just a simple, swish of the bottle, or a simple pop of the pill, a simple, smoke all the weed all motherfucking day and sleep all motherfucking day. Your child needs you. Your husband needs you. Your wife needs you. But you choose to drink back, smoke back all that guilt, all that trauma, all that hatred. You still choose to trust your parents, even though they treated you with disrespect. You still choose to place some sort of hope in those situations. And you're constantly, instead of fighting them, you're fighting yourself. And you ruin yourself. And as a response, you also ruin everyone else around you. And so when you're out there looking for love, looking for affection, looking for the father to your child or the mother to your child, everyone around you is the enemy. And you yourself, you're continuously the victim. Continue to play that small violin for yourself. Like I said, and you could do that until you're old and as fuck. But these are the people that are coming around you. It's people that consistently stay in this cycle of self-hatred and homicidal thoughts. Okay, homicidal and suicidal thoughts. Constant. And they drink and smoke to suppress them. So what's next? Okay, what's next for y'all? What can y'all do? What's your next mission? Okay. Your next mission this is what they're saying. Your next mission is to cut yourself off from these people. Even if you have to cut off a fucking limb, is what they're saying. You got to cut off a limb in contact with people. Because I want you to know, this is what I'm saying. Even if you got to cut out people around this person first, starting out with, if it is your parents, you start out with cutting off contact with some of the siblings, some of this, some of that. These are people that add to the flame. Okay, they cause more of a collision when they are still dealing with the people that have hurt you, caused you trauma. Even if they agree with you, right? They are still all limbs of the same tree. And because they're all limbs of the same fucking tree, they all still grow in the same motherfucking direction, right? And you still haven't fallen off that fucking tree. When they say the apples, fucking apple doesn't fall too far from the fucking tree, because they still choose to associate with the person who has hurt you, neglected you, scarred you, harmed you, fuck with your mind. You will never ever truly escape from that prison. Okay? You will never ever truly escape from this person. So you need to cut off the limbs, baby. You might even have to cut off the people that you thought, loved you the most at the end of the day. But really, they love their hate more than they love you. They still choose to deal with their toxic mama or their toxic sibling or their toxic this, toxic that, toxic ex, baby mama, baby daddy. They still choose to deal with these people. It's time to fucking trim the motherfucking bush, bitch. Trim the fucking tree. Like, get the fuck out of here, for real. You gotta chop off motherfucking limbs, babe. Motherfucking limbs. That's not you giving up. It's not you running away. It's you moving on. Okay? You can no longer be this character of like, everyone has to blame you. Everyone looks in your direction for blame. Everyone places the responsibility of who they hate on you. It transfers, especially when that person that that neglected them and hurt them and abused them, that they hated so deeply, dies. They misdirect all of that anger and hatred onto somebody else, and that also includes themselves, because they can't even fucking calculate how much they've been holding towards that person, and then that person's just gone. So who the fuck do they go to? Where else do they put that out in? They could put that out into loving themselves and making money and building a business and building an organization. But who in reality, who in their right mind, a fucking person in this type of situation, that's not instantly what they think of. They panic. They stress out. Okay? They start pulling hairs. They start going through the list of people. And they start hating and hating and hating. Big box of motherfucking hate. So they're telling you to make a fucking plan now. Make a plan. Okay? I love how I just said a list. Make a list of decisions that you need to make. Okay? Make that list. Write it down somewhere. On your phone, on a fucking piece of paper. Write that list. Organize this shit. Organize the next steps that you're going to take towards, They said pulling teeth. Leave it. They said by you staying here, you're just pulling your own motherfucking teeth. You're rotting from the inside out. You're rotting to the core, just like these motherfuckers, just like these people. Here's the branches. I told you about the motherfuckers going in the same direction. You're the same motherfucking person. You can never ever change around these folks. Okay? And they keep saying that they're at your mercy. Right? They're like, oh my God, Libra, please don't leave me. Oh my God, Libra, you're still so important to me. I still love you. Da 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 da. Even though I hurt you, even though I hurt this, hurt that, even though I never ever can give you the love and affection that you have given to me. The reality, right, is the person that has been on the bottom this whole time is you. They act like they're some kind of fucking victim, like they're some kind of small fry, like, oh my God, I made a stupid mistake, I'll never do it again, da 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 da. The person that is at the bottom, at this person's mercy right now, is actually you. They're the ones standing over you, dominating you through manipulation and control, through neglect. So this person right here needs to walk this direction. They need to walk away. Stop looking up. Stop looking for hope. Yeah, crack that shit. Yeah, look the other fucking direction. Like I just said, manifest something else entirely. Get the fuck out of here. Move on. Okay, look, new horizon. Protection. Okay, cutting off the bullshit. Ignoring the fucking neurological fucking disorder that this person has, where they gotta fucking start trying to control, manipulate to get you back into their life, to get you back into their graces type shit. Take yourself and run. Take all your shit and go. Stop spilling your guts out for this person. Let's go. Okay? You can keep speaking facts to this person, but this person doesn't understand fact. They only understand their own fiction. That's it. Libra, I mean, look how beautiful that sky look. That shit look beautiful as fuck. Libra, I love y'all. Like I said, I feel like Libra appreciation was lacking lately, and I just wanted to do a big reading for y'all and really look at your situation seriously. You know, I didn't want y'all to feel like I was ignoring you or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I know Libra has their own back type shit. Okay, they have good enough observation skills that they can see when something's not right for them, but sometimes it takes a little bit to kick in. Sometimes there's a misfire in which someone is able to out manipulate you. So, all right, Libra, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the next reading. Goodbye.